Right now, beneath the ground you're standing on, an empire is operating. It has farmers, it has soldiers, it has slaves, it has hospitals, cemeteries, and even its own form of agriculture, practiced millions of years before humans ever planted a single seed. This empire has no leader giving orders, no central command, and no single brain controlling its decisions. And yet it functions with a level of precision that human engineers are only now beginning to understand. This is not science fiction. This is the secret world of ants, and almost everything you think you know about them is incomplete. Ants have existed for over 140 million years. Today, scientists estimate there are roughly 20 quadrillion ants alive on Earth at any given moment, a number so large it is difficult to comprehend. They exist on every continent except Antarctica, and their combined biomass rivals that of all wild birds and mammals combined. But it is not their numbers that make ants extraordinary. It is what they do when no one is watching. Deep inside their colonies, behaviors are unfolding that challenge everything science once assumed about insects, intelligence, and cooperation itself. Let us begin with a discovery that stunned researchers studying teamwork itself. In nearly every human group project, something predictable happens. As more people join a task, individual effort tends to decline. Scientists call this social loafing, and it has frustrated workplaces and research teams for over a century. But in 2025, researchers studying weaver ants found something that defied this pattern entirely. Weaver ants form teams in which individuals actually increase their contributions as the team grows larger, the complete opposite of what happens in human groups. These tree-dwelling ants build elaborate nests by forming living chains, pulling leaves together and binding them shut, using silk produced not by themselves, but by their own larvae, which they carry like biological glue guns. The lighthouse. But that's not all. The mechanism behind this teamwork is what truly stunned scientists. Researchers discovered that longer chains of ants generate more grip on the surface beneath them, allowing the group to better resist the pulling force of the leaf snapping back. The ants use what scientists call a force ratchet system, where some ants pull while others anchor themselves in place, allowing the colony to outperform the efficiency of human teams entirely. This is not random instinct. This is coordinated biomechanical engineering, executed by a creature with a brain smaller than a grain of rice. And researchers studying robotics have taken notice. The same pulling strategy used by these ants is now being studied as a blueprint for building more efficient robotic swarms. The Lighthouse Science Daily. However, teamwork is only the beginning of what happens in secret beneath the ant colony floor. The next discovery reveals something even stranger, something that sounds more like science fiction than biology. In leafcutter ant colonies, every single ant is born into a role. Some become soldiers, some become foragers, some become nurses who care for the queen's eggs. For decades, scientists believed these roles were fixed by body size and shape, a rigid biological blueprint impossible to override. That assumption was recently shattered. Researchers discovered that by manipulating just two specific brain molecules known as neuropeptides, they could completely reprogram an ant's behavior. Scientists found that by adjusting these molecular signals, they could turn defender ants into nurses, or transform gardener ants into leaf harvesters, essentially flipping an ant's entire job within the colony like a switch. And the most astonishing part of this discovery was yet to come. These exact same molecular signals were found echoing in the brains of naked mole rats, a completely different species separated from ants by hundreds of millions of years of evolution. This stunning overlap suggests that the biological code for organizing complex societies may be far older and more universal than scientists ever imagined, hidden quietly inside the genetics of Earth's most successful organisms. Science Daily. This raises an uncomfortable question. If an ant's role in society can be rewritten by a few molecules, how much of what we call instinct is truly fixed? And how much is simply waiting to be unlocked? The secrets continue inside the ant brain itself. Scientists studying clonal raider ants, a species in which every member is genetically identical, expected to find identical brains as well. After all, these ants are born at the same time, eat the same food, and live in the same environment, with the exact same genetic code. If any species should produce uniform, interchangeable minds, it should be this one. Instead, researchers found the opposite. Despite being genetically identical, individual clonal raider ants showed surprising variation in their brain characteristics, differences that appeared to relate to the specific tasks each ant performed within the colony. Rockefeller University. This discovery quietly overturned a long-held assumption. Ant colonies have always been viewed as the ultimate example of collectivism, where the individual matters less than the group. But buried inside their neuroscience is something resembling individuality, subtle cognitive differences shaping how each ant contributes to the whole. The colony may behave as a single superorganism from the outside, but inside, every member appears to carry a unique signature of their own. And then there's the discovery that revealed just how fragile this entire system truly is. When scientists genetically modified ants for the first time in history, removing a single gene related to social communication, the results were immediate and dramatic. The modified ants stopped following the chemical trails laid down by their nestmates, a behavior essential for keeping the colony cohesive and functioning as one unit. Without that one chemical signal, the ants wandered aimlessly, disconnected from the collective intelligence that defines their entire species. Their reproduction collapsed. Their lifespan was cut dramatically short. One missing molecular thread, and an entire functioning society unraveled. Science? This is the truth hiding beneath the soil, inside the bark, and behind the silent movement of every ant trail you have ever walked past without noticing. Ants are not simple. They are not mindless. They are living proof that intelligence does not require a large brain, that cooperation does not require a leader, and that some of the most sophisticated systems on Earth are operating in complete silence, just inches beneath your feet. For over 140 million years, this hidden empire has been refining itself, building, adapting, and surviving everything the planet has thrown at it. Long before human civilization existed, ants had already solved problems we are only beginning to understand, problems involving teamwork, communication, and the delicate biology of working together. The next time you see a single ant crossing a sidewalk, remember that you are not looking at one creature. You are looking at a single thread in one of the most advanced societies nature has ever built. If this secret world fascinated you as much as it fascinated us, subscribe for more hidden stories from the natural world that most people walk straight past every single day. There is one more layer to this mystery, and it involves something ants do that most people have never even considered possible. Ant colonies do not just divide labor, they divide healthcare. Researchers studying several ant species have observed something resembling battlefield medicine, behavior that, until recently, scientists assumed belonged exclusively to humans. When a worker ant is injured during a raid or a territorial conflict, often losing a leg in the process, nestmates do not abandon it. Instead, other ants will return to the wounded individual, clean the injury site, and in some documented cases, even appear to assess the severity of the wound before deciding whether to assist further. Ants with injuries that receive this care have been shown to survive at dramatically higher rates than those left untreated. This is not random chance. This is triage, the same basic medical principle used in human emergency rooms, occurring inside a colony with no doctors, no hospitals, and no spoken language of any kind. But here's the detail that almost nobody knows. Some ant species take this defensive cooperation even further, engaging in what researchers describe as organized warfare. Colonies send out scouting parties before committing to large-scale raids. They assess the size of rival colonies, they retreat when outnumbered, and return with reinforcements when the odds shift in their favor. This is not simple aggression. This is strategic decision-making carried out collectively by thousands of individuals who have never seen the full battlefield, relying entirely on chemical signals passed from one ant to the next like an invisible chain of command. What we are witnessing, hidden beneath logs, inside tree canopies, and underground in total darkness, is something far closer to civilization than instinct.